Hello everybody, this is Josh, and today we are going to continue expanding our city of Little York in this episode number 7. And well, I think last time we were able to expand our city really nicely with Gardner Square. We can see that it's growing very nicely. We have all the services that we need. We have post office, elementary school, firehouse, and police station. We also added a really nice waterfront area. As we can see here, we expanded it as much as we could for the moment. Our tram line is working amazingly well. As you can see, there's a really nice usage of it. And here's the bus station that we also built, which is bringing a lot of people from outside the city, and it serves as a hub for the two lines that intersect here, as we can see, which is the green line and which is the blue line. And both of these lines are used very, very well. And so today we need to work on a couple of things. And I think that we need to start looking into building high density buildings and where we're going to put them. But first, as always, let's make sure that we have enough electricity. We do. Water, we might have to increase the budget a little bit, but we also might have to build 2 more new treatment plants. With garbage and the landfill situation, we are doing really well. We might have to build 1 or 2 more recycling centers, but that's for a little bit later. And in terms of traffic, everything is working very, very nice. We also have our agriculture area. It's giving us a great profit. We are exporting not only the raw materials, the crops, but we have a flour and the animal products that are being exported as well. They are complaining about garbage, but I think we can leave that for right now. And our forestry area, that I think is also working really, really nice. We are exporting a really good amount of raw materials. And I think the first thing that we're gonna work with in this area is to maybe put one of these either sawmill or the biomass pellet plant. The sawmill creates plant timber, and the biomass pellet plant creates paper. They're special goods which we'll later be able to use to create unique goods, but that's for later. I think that we are doing well. And we might want to add a couple more plantations here. There's enough water, we should be fine. In order for us not to run out of product right away. So let's plop down these 4. And this is conifer. It's fine if this we leave it in a different with a different type of raw material. It really doesn't matter. It looks nicer, and it actually gives it a little bit of variety here. And we might actually want to put 2 more of these here. So 1 and 2. And this is going to be fine for right now. Our storage is full. And let's see how big the sawmill is. It's not that big. The bigger one is the paper plant. There's 2 things that we can do here. The first one is just to... It's asking for water. We didn't provide enough water. There you go. There's 2 things that we can do here. We can either just put whatever we need to do here, whichever plants we need to do, or plop, or we can do it on this area. I really don't wanna mix stuff, and I also don't want to create traffic that's not from this area in here. So what we are gonna do is just plop down the paper plant. We're gonna put it here, and the sawmill, we're also gonna put it next to it, and that way we don't have these problems which bring a lot of noise to go into this side of the expressway. Right now they're asking for raw materials, but I'm sure that right away, as we can see, they're gonna be brought from this small log yard. And hopefully this one can get some raw materials too. There we go. And so pretty soon we should be able to see paper and plant timber being exported. I don't wanna put a warehouse. We can put them here. I don't want to put a small warehouse yet until we start exporting this. And as you can see, our profit fell. But once we start producing paper and plant timber, everything should increase. So that's our little fix for this for today. We are doing also really well in here. There should be enough raw materials for now, and we are gonna add another little silo here. That way there's enough product. So we're doing well with the product, and we're doing well here. The next thing that I want to double check is on loans. We don't have any loans outstanding, so that's great. That means that we are not paying for loans and that we have them available in case that we need them right away. As we can see, we have an extra square that we can purchase. And that's something that we need to figure out which square we're going to be using. And we're going to be purchasing. And I think that just for right now, even though we don't have any access to the harbor, but it's closer, we might want to get this square. But I think that we should go with this one. There you go. It's a square that has very different terrain. But I do want to create another suburb in this area since we are going to be needing more residential zoning. But let's first fill this up with residential zoning. That way we can get our needs lowered. And I think this area, this suburb that we created, ended up looking way better than the one that we did here. I think the shape works a whole lot better than this one. I think this one, well, it doesn't work that well. I think with this we created some new shapes, we created some curves, and it looks great and it works great as well. So we're gonna let that work itself out. We are having enough water and enough electricity, so we should be fine with that. And what I'm gonna do right now is to create another exit here. Not here for now. I'm just gonna do it here, and this one we can do it for later. So let me work on this exit. Well, we are back. One of the things that I tend to do, since there's no mid-density zoning for in this game, I have to change things a little bit and how we work with them. So one of the things that I do in order to change that includes two things. The first one includes high-rise ban, and the second one includes zoning in small tracks, in small squares. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're gonna do an entrance here. We're gonna try to do the same thing that we've been doing on the other areas. The only difference here is that instead of letting these be 4 squares from the road, we're gonna make it just 2. And the way that we're gonna do it is there's only gonna be a distance of 5 squares in between. We're gonna zone 2 squares close to this road, 2 squares close to this road, and the square in the middle we are gonna put a sidewalk. And that in my opinion looks well and works well. Some of the things that you might say is that putting all these intersections really close is gonna be an issue, but I think it's gonna be fine for what we want. I don't think it's gonna be a big issue. I'm still gonna put a cross street here because we also want to be able to allow people to cross into this road, be able to walk. And I think since pollution is not an issue yet, and I don't think it's gonna be an issue, I did change my mind, and I do want to put another little tourist area here. I think it's gonna work really well. In here, I'm also gonna follow the things the way that I was doing them, which is basically leaving space in between to put down trees. That way, this commercial area that's gonna be here, it's gonna be noisy, but the trees are gonna help us with that. And so here's what we're gonna do in these areas. We're gonna put the sidewalk, the paved path, and for now, on these sides, we're gonna do the same thing. And so anything that we zone in here, it can only be 2 squares wide, if you want to call it that way. One of the things that we're gonna do right away also, we are gonna upgrade these ones to roads with bike lanes. And we're gonna make sure that we don't have any lights here. Stop signs work just as well. And making sure that we do it on the crossroad too. We need to make sure that we have water. That should work for now. And I think I'm just gonna do a straight pipe here and then join it here. If we later need to change things, it's gonna be fine. There should be no main issues. Another thing that I wanna do because of water, I'm gonna actually build a large water tower. And I think I'm gonna put it here. It made unhappy just a couple of people, but it should be fine. We can give them a small park. That's for them. We still need to build this park, so we have a lot of things to work on here. And we are going to need power. So let's just put this here. Now they're gonna have power. One of the things that I created is a park or a plaza like this. It has walking paths running through here and one from here, so we can actually continue it. And we're gonna do this at least just for right now. And now we have power, let's just make sure. And let's start zoning. Let's start putting an area. Let's make sure to clean up on the side of the street. And again, even though these areas, these districts don't affect highways, I think at least it looks a little bit nicer. There you go. So let's open the policies and let's do high-rise ban. We can also do free Wi-Fi. And we're gonna change the style to make sure that it has the modern city center. That way, whenever the commercial zones are built on, we have those really cool buildings here. Let me plop them or zone them right away. And we should be fine. And now let's zone a little bit here. At least for now. And let's put a firehouse. And a post office, we're gonna put it here. As well as this. And I think this little area is gonna grow really, really nice. So let's see how much it can grow right now. Well, I think it's growing out slowly but nice. And as you can see, we have the city center, really cool buildings. And we have these really nice apartment buildings. Again, we have medium density zoning in this game, so this is the best that I think works in terms of how it looks. If you think this is too close by, you can leave actually 2 more squares, but you don't zone in those squares. You can put either more sidewalks, or you can put more trees in case you want to do something like that. For example, you can do something like this, and then do this, and you can still keep things really nice and organized. And you could even put a little bit of trees maybe in the middle, and up to you how you decorate it. And of course, we can do this in a different area. Maybe once we get this square or one of the other squares, we can do something more similar to this. I think it looks nice, and it actually makes a little bit of sense, or more than just a little bit. The next thing that we need to do is to create a line a bus line from here all the way to here. And I think I'm just gonna do it this way and go back. Let's double check how many buses it assigned. It assigned 13. Let's do 50%. This is gonna be 7 buses that are gonna service this part of town. Let's change it to, do we have another orange? We do, but it doesn't intersect here, so we're fine. Let's make it a red instead. There you go. That way these people, the people that work here, can go to this bus main station, and then if they want to keep on going or they work here or whatnot, it's gonna be working fine. There's some people that are getting sick. Just make sure that there's no pollution in the water. We are fine. And healthcare, we have an okay amount. Of availability. Death care might be a different issue, which is why we are gonna place down another crematorium. I guess we can do it here. And another one, I guess it could be here. And we should be fine for now. We hadn't placed any of those, and those are very good for the city. That way we don't fill up the cemeteries that fast. And then we're gonna have to empty the cemeteries, which is a very morbid thing to think about, especially in a game. So that is that. We are doing well with demand for residential, but now we are asked for commercial. And again, that's where I want to create a little wall here, and I think we're gonna use this one. We're gonna use the city key wide. Okay, we are done with the key wall. I think it looks pretty nice. And we reached level 3 in our forestry area, which gave us a printing press as one of the factories that we can have, a large log yard, and a medium tree plantation. And before we continue here, I wanna be able to show you the dimensions of the large tree plantation, which is basically 2 of the regular small tree plantations. The difference that a lot of people don't see is that for every small tree plantation, there's a production rate of up to 4,800 units, which means that if the medium tree plantation is twice the size, you should get an a production rate of up to 9,600 units, when in reality, that doesn't happen. It's only 8,000 units. It might only help in terms of traffic, but I don't think that uh, that helps a lot either. But even then, it looks good. It looks well. And here's the large log yard, or we can do a sawdust storage, which we can put right here, making sure that there's enough electricity. There you go. And hopefully we can fill this up really well. 400 tons as opposed to 300. We should be fine. And the factory that we got is here, the printing press, which needs paper and plastic. Unfortunately, we don't have plastic, so that's an issue that we have, and which is why we cannot build it. But there's a lot of stuff that we can put in here, and that's, I think, for later. We have the furniture factory, which is something that we can do right away, as well as the bakery. The bakery needs animal products, crops, and flowers, so that's something we have. So all of these two we're able to do, and I think that's going to be for our expansion of the industrial area into maybe this side. But again, that's not for this episode. And well, let's see what else is it that we can do here. I do like the fact that we have these type of things to build. I think that it works really well, all these walls, and I think they also give a different look. Into the city, and I think we should be okay with that for now. Let's extend our avenue. Okay. And let's create a district. Let's clean it up a little bit. And although I think this district is way too big for only have tourism activities, I think it's gonna be fine. I made a mistake. I think it's gonna be fine, at least for now. I think that it's gonna be okay, because I also want to put a couple of these parks and plazas, as well as the unique buildings, which we have a lot of them that we have not placed anywhere in our town. Let's actually put one. Where can we put it? Let's put it here. There you go. And let's make sure that we put more sidewalks. Join this one here. Put a parking lot. And add a little couple of trees. There you go. And maybe we have something else that we can put in here. We have the fountain of life and death. And I think we can place, let me see. We have the official park. I think we put the official park here. I think it's gonna look really nice there. What else we have? We have almost everything that we have not placed anywhere. And let's just wait. Let's create the zones here that we want to use. And then we can work on placing some of those. I think we should be fine. That way we have enough space to create stuff here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna create this road. And yes, I know there's another intersection here. I think it's gonna be okay. And we are going to start creating our blocks. There you go. Making sure that they're as straight as you want them to be. Cross the street here. And so what we are going to do is put this as the tourism specialization. Let's make sure that we continue the road here, 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 and here. That way everybody's able to access this. And let's make sure that there's water available for everybody. One more here. Here, at least 4 right now, while we see how this area develops. And now we got to Grand City with 17,000 people. We have some more new buildings and a third loan. But what we want is just to keep on going. Let's make sure that we are able to provide electricity, and we can take it from here. At least for right now. I am gonna place down a police station here. That way it's closer to this area, which always brings some type of crime. And I'm just gonna zone here. And trying to see what park we can put. I think we can put this here. I think it's gonna work really well. And we can do the fishing pier here. And we can put some of these that actually are not long enough. once we change this key wall to a regular wall, but for now we're gonna do this. So we have a restaurant pier and the fishing pier. And let's see what else we can put from... We can do another riding stable. I think that's gonna work really well here. There you go. And let's just zone this extra. Now I think it's gonna be okay. Let's pause this for a moment. If we just have 1 or 2 stops on this side, I think that's gonna be fine. And the next thing we're gonna do is just a loop. So that should be working fine for that too. And I think that's gonna work really nice, at least for right now. What I think I might want to do on this little side is to mess a little bit with our district and create a new one. And that district is going to have the leisure specialization. Let's see if we can get something going on for them. I think this is going to work fine. And let's do that. And maybe we can put a plaza. We can put it here. And let's do this. And there you go. A couple more trees here. Can they make them the smaller ones? And I completely forgot that we need to upgrade these roads to roads with bike lanes. That way everybody's able to bike to whatever they want to visit, actually. Let me keep this street going. I'm gonna try to see if we can well. And there you go. And let's see if we can change this one to this. Looks really, really nice. And that way we can actually put not the jet ski rental, but the marina. And I think that actually works really, really nice. Working well. Let's put some water out for them. There you go. And let's just continue zoning here. And I think it looks really nice. Again, I don't think the devs accounted for this type of buildings when building the new keys. But I think it works really well. We do need to take off the lights. So let's do that really quick. That way we don't have any issues with traffic that fast. We forgot to... There you go. Noise-wise, I think we're fine. I don't think there's any issues with this noise getting here. So I'm not too worried about that. What we are gonna do is I think we should just continue this here. Because we do need a lot more of residential zoning, especially now that these are high density. I think we're going to be increasing our population really fast. And one thing that we forgot to put in here is a school, and I think I'm going to put this here. I think that's gonna help. And maybe this here. I think it's gonna help for now, as well as a large park here. Making sure that there's enough water for everybody. And I think we should be able to replace the regular sewage outlets into these eco-friendly. So the regular sewage outlets, they have a draining capacity of 120,000 cubic meters. And these eco ones, they are only 60,000 cubic meters, so that's half, which means that in order to replace these three, we need at least 6. And since we're adding more capacity because we need it, we are gonna have to add another 2 more. So that means that we're gonna need 8. So let's work on that here really quick. We can also do a treatment plant, but I think for right now we should be fine. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think also that's gonna help us with our polluted water problem. Let's unpause this. And let's wait until they all start working. And as we can see, we are doing well. I'm gonna put an extra one here, just in case. There you go. And if we want, we can change the budget to 85. Even though we're making more than enough money, we need to actually increase these and decrease. That should be fine. And now I think the pollution is gonna be able to decrease. I think we're gonna be doing well with that. Let's check on our forestry area to see how much money it's making. And so far, I don't think we're making that much money, but we're still producing product. And so let me add a couple of more of these large tree plantations. I'm going to put one here and just take it from there. Make sure there's enough water. We are fine with that. We are doing also really well with the agricultural area. Unfortunately, I think we might have some issues here because of this, but I think changing them all for eco-friendly ones is actually helping. What we can do in this area, it's, even though they're expensive, I think let's put one here and start taking it from there. We also need another facility, so I think I'm gonna do 1 and 2. And we already have a flour mill here and a milking parlor, so I'm gonna add another flour mill. It's milking, that's cattle, that's flour. There you go. And we can add a slaughterhouse for later. These ones, I don't think we have a fish market. We don't. I think we can put one here. And we should put another one. We can do another one here. Let's move this. And put it here. And what the fish market does, it basically, it's a way to distribute all the product that you're getting from here into your city. And the other one that we have is the fish factory, which makes fish into products that you can use in your commercial zones. So that's that. We might want to put another of these fish markets here, but not right now. What we are gonna do is zone this with residential as much as we can. Because the city is growing a lot and it needs the zones for it to grow. I think we're fine for right now. Let me zone this one too and this. Which means that we need to start looking for another area for another little suburb. And here with not enough customers, but we should be fine for now. it shouldn't be a big issue. This one needs water, so let's provide water. And once we go into the taxes, into our budget and the income from commercial zones, we can see that leisure is bringing a really good amount of money, but not as much as tourism. And I think that's one of the things that this game could do maybe in future DLCs or in Cities Skylines 2. Make it a little bit better in terms of how well you can do leisure. You know, for SimCity, we had casinos that were modular, that you could increase what they were focused on, and I think that's something that's sorely missing here. And I think we can create another little area with the organic products, and we are gonna put it, we can do it here, why not? So we can do this and this. Let's pause really quick because that's what happened. Let's clear this up. Let's put the organic. And let's zone it. And we should see this working a little bit better. The other thing that I think we should do here is just have another line. We can do this here. Let's see, that's 4 vehicles. That should be, it's to also 50%. I don't think that's needed. And let's make it a yellow line. Let's check on this red line. There's more than enough people waiting for service here, so I don't see why we can't increase this to the full 100%. There you go. And actually it's not that crazy of an idea to keep on this line. I hadn't noticed that. And I think that's what we should do. We should do next. And maybe not to create, or maybe not to extend this line all the way here, but to create another line that's gonna end up here, which is, you know, one of the reasons why this little loop is there for. One of the things that we also need to do is change the shape so that, you know, we can get some nice variety of shapes in roads. Then again, we also need to make sure that we have another exit here if we want to. But otherwise, since I don't think this is gonna be a very used area, I think we're fine with this for now. We can always, you know, change things as we see fit. But let me see what I can do here and we'll be back. well, here you have it. It's not as nice as I might have wanted to, but I think it works well. We'll have some uh, roads to make sure that things work. And now let's create our new tram line. The first thing that I'm gonna do is to put this here. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that we have one that goes this way. And one that starts on the other side. So we're gonna do that. We're not gonna have any stops there for now. But the first stop that I'm gonna do is kind of similar to this. So it's gonna be here. It's gonna be here. We're just gonna go back, back. And there you go. What I might do later is to upgrade this road to have a tram track. That way this can be a sort of loop, because we are going to delete this line. Let's stop really quick and change the color. For this one is going to be the blue line, and this one is going to be the yellow line. And let's follow this tram. And well, everything I think is working really nice. One of the things that we're gonna have to do is move this here. That way, whenever there's a tram stop here, that one that's here can go all the way back. There's different ways that you can do this. This is the way that I want to do it, at least for now. Another one could be just going back here and then on the way back. That way people can walk easier from the stop to here. But I think that otherwise it's working well. We forgot to turn off the lights in this road. There you go. And I think that overall it's gonna work really well. What I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna dezone this because I don't think there's a big number of demand for that. And I will move this to here. That way I can zone it, and because I think that there's still a good need for leisure. And now that we don't have this, hopefully this is going to be as it's going to have as much demand. And let's zone a little bit more here. See, I think our little apartment suburb. Some people might like how it looks, some people might not. Uh, I think it's working really well. And I think this whole area, which is what we focused on, is working really, really well. I think this looks really nice. The keys on the shoreline look great. I still think that they don't work that well with these buildings. We might have to do something different. Um, let me see if doing this might help. It's just a little bit messy, I think, and let's just do this for the time being. And let's see if people start walking here. Yeah, so we should be fine. Everything's working on this side. Um, so I think it's gonna work. It's gonna work fine once people start coming to this nice place. Something else that we might want to include here is an amusement park. And we can put it actually all the way across this area. And I think that's going to help a lot in terms of visitors and tourists and all that. I think it's going to work really, really well. So hopefully we can do that. That's going to be our goal for the next episode, to create an amusement park here. Since we're definitely not going to use or we're not going to make an exit, because I think this works really, really well for now, and this also works really, really well. I think we should be fine, at least for now. And if we need to, we can also have an exit here. I think that's going to be the next plan of action, especially to connect, whenever we get all these tiles, to connect this one here with this one, and then somehow plug it in there. But again, we're a little bit too far from that. Everything is working fine. All the needs are being met, at least for right now. Our forestry area is doing well already. Our agriculture area is also doing great. We might need to work a little bit on the paper side. Maybe we can put another paper factory, even though that's a little bit too big, but I don't see why not. There you go. Hopefully we can get some raw materials soon. Let's wait and see. And well, hopefully they get raw materials pretty soon. Let me extend it just in case uh, the road is not the issue. And just in case again, let's put another big tree plantation here. And this one we can do. There you go. Finally, we got some product and we should be fine for right now. I think we did pretty well today on this city. Again, we didn't have anything planned, but I think creating this little apartment area, medium density residential zoning is working great along with our tourism and leisure area. And we created another tram line that runs from this little transportation hub into this area. The only other thing that we're gonna do really quick is to just create a line here. For people that just wanna grab the train instead of just walking. We also need to put another pedestrian overpass here. But otherwise, I think we did really well today. Our city is growing. We are now zoning more high density residential. And we will continue to grow this city as much as we can. As always, thank you for watching this video, for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Until next episode, where we'll build a amusement park, we'll be here.